Hi, Renee. How are you doing?
I'm good. Can you hear my neighbors driving around, or did it stop?
I don't hear anything.
Okay, good. They
Good.
got loud as soon as you started recording. I was like,
Oh,
oh, of course they did.
um, that's funny. No, you're good. I don't hear anything. So today we're supposed to talk about budget, and it really wasn't specific. It was kind of vague in general. So I think that gives us the green light to talk about a couple different things that, but I
Okay,
mean, all under the umbrella of budget. But we can, and I have some questions too to ask you that
okay.
I wrote down that are kind of my questions. So I'm going to give the floor to you first, or do you want me to ask one of my questions first?
Um, s- um, well, I I'll be fielding questions now. Thank you.
I didn't know
I
if you
mean,
want.
so yeah, so we don't get our budgets till September
Oh, okay.
in the year. I'll just start with that. And so you get people calling you and oh, like this year before the SB 13 went out, they were like, "Quick, order all these books before it starts." And we're like, "We can't do anything till September. Our hands are tied."
Yeah.
So it's kind of stinky that keep starting earlier and earlier, but we don't get our budgets till
Oh,
September.
yep.
But I serve four schools, so I have four budgets. Well, really eight because I count student activity. I have four schools, and so I have the main budget that the library gives me, and then I have the student activity fund money. But the main um, budget that I have, some of the money comes from campuses and some comes from district library.
And that was one of my questions. Yep.
So, it- so we have budget codes that end in 806, and any of the 806 come from downtown. And then if it ends in your um, campus number, that's campus uh, funds that you can do. And so, like, really, the district pays for our library books and some of the software stuff. Um, but really, most of the rest of the stuff comes from campuses.
And
So, um,
and that
the thing with that is you can play around with the money that comes from campuses. So, like if you needed furniture, you can take your other reading material that you don't need and you can add that into your furniture budget. Or you need to go to TLA and nobody gave you money to do that. You can do your miscellaneous expenses and create money for you to go to TLA. So you can do that, but you can't combine district money with campus money. So you have to really be aware of that. But most of the library books monies come from the district, which I have to brag on our district. That is one thing they are nice and generous about is our book budget money.
so that was one of the things I was also going to ask you about. So book money comes from district, and
Yeah.
campus money pays for, you said, like furniture, paper, printer ink, et cetera,
Yeah.
like that.
Your
Okay.
miscellaneous expenses and things. It has gone, I mean, like I did have a 10,000 dollar budget, but now it's kind of like 8,000, but it's still decent.
Yeah. And
And they like us to get our budget spent by um
early, right?
March. Well, really they want us to have it spent by December. But since we didn't get our Slack committee and all that formed, it's kind of hard to spend your money when you can't touch your money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this year it's a little different. I think they want it they probably want it spent right now, but they're just gonna have to be patient with me.
Yeah. And just kind of to follow up a question about, spending money on items. What if you don't have enough money to buy a makerspace or furniture or anything like that? So that would be through the campus
Right.
budget. So I guess my question is, how do you supplement?
Um, well, you do some pleading and begging and you do some rearranging of funds,
I'm gonna
but
write that down, pleading and begging.
yes, I like to bake cookies before I go present myself to them and butter them up. Wah, wah, wah.
Bring
Um,
extra butter, butter the
yeah,
biscuits.
yeah. Oh, you're looking quite nice today and generous, I hope. But yeah, I do fundraising um through by doing book fairs each year. 4 book fairs each year. And um so we get a lot of money that way, but that goes through Student Activity Fund. And Student Activity Fund is a little bit looser than the guidelines for using the district money. They do still have to be a vendor, but it's not quite as, you don't have to jump through quite as many hoops to do it. So and you when doing a book fair, you can decide, are you going to do it in Scholastic dollars or are you going to do it for cash purposes? And the spending money is so hard these days because you jump through so many hoops. But with Scholastic, they've upped their game on like maker stuff. And since I have two campuses that are becoming STEM campuses, I've done a lot of that kind of stuff through Scholastic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And is there like hoops? Speaking of hoops, you have to jump through. As far as student activity funds, now, is there specific things that, like, can it be food? Can it be clothing? Can it be like, where does it have to be stuff they have to use? Do they have to leave it at
Well, I
home? Can they
can't
take
go
it
out and
home?
buy my designing clothes with it, but yeah, it's anything that the students can eat, touch, read, do. It has to be student for the students in student activity.
So I can't buy furniture with student activity funds.
Well, are the students going to sit in it and use it?
Yes.
So
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Can
That's
you
that.
buy a mocha latte for your just yourself? No. Could you buy it
What
for a
about,
student? Yes.
so I notice how some campuses have I notice how some
You've
campuses
noticed that too?
bleh, bleh,
Whoa.
word vomit. Bleh. No, they have like popcorn machines. Could I
Yeah.
buy a popcorn machine through the student activity fund, or is that through campus allocated?
I think you could buy it through student. I mean, I always give it a try, and somebody from purchasing will slap my hand if I didn't do it right. Mhm. Yep.
That's so funny.
My
I'm just
best
curious.
friend in purchasing actually retired, which is really sad because she was gentle with me. The other one yelled at me for, "What were you thinking?" Like, I wasn't. I'm an idiot. I don't know how to do this stuff.
I
That's
have book fair brain. I can't think right now.
no, it was called, I don't know what I'm doing. Somebody can handle it. Everybody else has quit. I don't know.
I
Somebody
gotcha.
can fix it for me.
That's so funny.
And they did. They fixed it for me.
Magically, you just
Yay.
had to, what was it? Beg and plead. That's what I wrote down. Beg and plead.
Yes. And it's yeah, it's great if you just plead ignorance. I
Yes.
don't know what I'm doing.
Yes, I understand that.
But so we have been under lots of different umbrellas, and our favorite umbrella that we were under was when the technology department was head
Oh,
of us.
okay. Yeah.
Because when technology had maybe a little bit of surplus, she would say, "What is it you need?" And so we were like, "Oh, we want this, this, and this." But we aren't under her anymore. Now we're under somebody in charge of curriculum, and
Curriculum, as I say, network
they
curriculum.
don't, they aren't as generous to give us little sussies along the way.
Now, is this where we got the 3D printer or no?
Yeah, we got 3D printers.
Yeah. And
And we got the popcorn machine, we got the 3D printers, we got the maker space carts. I don't, and the poster makers.
oh,
Middle school got poster
poster printer.
makers.
Yes.
Yeah,
A Cricut. We got a Cricut.
we did get
Okay.
crickets. Yep.
I was just, and those are things that I was going to ask about. How do we get those, poster printer, Cricut, popcorn, like how do we get those? And it's all coming full circle now. That was through technology, which was
Yep.
uh
They were
district.
ahead of us, so
So that was an 806 account,
yeah.
not campus
Mm-mm.
or student activity fund. Okay.
Right.
I was just curious. Um, what kinds of things, now that um, this might be going off topic, but now that we are no longer in the technology department, we're in the curriculum department. What kinds of things are you wanting to purchase in your budget, this year, or um, do you have do you have a budget plan? Like, okay, this year I'm going to spend a lot of money on replacing furniture or whatever. And next year I'm going to spend a lot of money replacing the technology part. Or this year I'm going to spend, do you have a budget plan? How do you remember to spend your money on certain items?
Post-it notes are great about reminding you what it is you're supposed to be doing.
Post-it note to your head.
Oh, I need
Yes.
that. Okay, got it. Now, which computer did I post-it note to?
I know.
Um, wh well, I mean, you look at your needs. I have, like I said, I have two campuses that are going STEM. And so I have been trying to up my game there. So that's taken a lot more than I normally do. Um, buying books is a priority that I have procrastinated on extremely, extremely, extremely because I've just been so sad about how we order books.
I
But
know. Yeah.
yeah.
Have you thought about okay, so no budget plan, if your answer that I'm gathering, which is
I
fine.
mean, you have it in here.
Well,
Okay, so like when I was at middle school, I had I didn't like the entry to it had an old couch, it had a map on the wall, it had um I mean, it didn't say come to the library. And so
is it welcoming and inviting?
that was my focus was I wanted I mean the map still had Yugoslavia on it. So it's time to get rid of it. And
Yeah.
so I did talk with my principal about my ideas and things. And so I ended up they painted over that. They put up a whiteboard so that I'm like, if anything, because you know how classes come in and they've been kicked out of the classroom. So
Yep.
I had like two different class areas, but I wanted to make that into another area that if another group wanted to work, they could. So I bought a big dry erase board, and I from Scholastic, I got their furniture, cozy furniture. I begged, borrowed, and stole. I didn't steal. They donated. I got a writing. the stationary bike in there, which, and then I used, I want to say I used a table from home, but I don't remember where I don't remember what it was. And I put out, it like it was a small, it was a big coffee table, and I put my puzzle board out there, and
Oh,
so
okay.
had crossword puzzles sitting out there. So, um, that was my area of focus that year to do
Gotcha.
it, and just did it that way.
Gotcha. Uh, I know last year I bought a ton of um what is it, butcher paper or construction paper, colors, markers, crayons, colored pencils, computer paper. I bought a ton of computer ink. That's what I spent my most of my budget on last year.
Yeah.
As far as
Which is so funny because,
campus.
well, in elementary, you just go to the office and you get those things.
Oh my God.
But coming from elementary going to middle school, I'm like, hey, where's oh, that is your own budget that you have to do. And I was like, okay, well, didn't know that, or I would have brought it with me.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes. So last year I bought all of the kind of artsy, creative stuff, and then this year I've spent so much money on the poster printer, I cannot continue. So next year I'm gonna have to make a deal with the front office because I'm not printing the posters for me. I'm not the one
Um,
printing hundreds of.
yeah.
Actually, I've spent all my budget. I think I only spent $200 on just like the paper or whatever.
Hmm.
The rest of the $800 was just like poster printer stuff. So that's kind of
So,
how I'm.
um, because you're supposed to share with
Craig.
Craig, right?
Mhm.
Do they use it too, or
They
just you?
haven't. They haven't used
Uh-huh.
it. So, and it's fine. You know,
Yeah.
if Craig were to use it, then she would give me paper or ink or whatever. We would share.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, yeah.
it's all man,
Hmm.
all of our campus. Oh, your skeleton is wanting to be in
Yes. The
the video.
spirit has moved it.
The video with
Has moved Norma. Moving on. We're not on topic. Sorry.
sorry.
Sorry, Professor.
So, I'm just trying to think of what I'm going to spend my money on next year because I have so much money. I have already stocked poster printer
Yeah.
stuff. So that's what I'm thinking. Every other year, buy either poster printer stuff or, construction paper, poster printer, construction paper. So I was just curious how you were doing that,
Well,
alternating years or paying a
mhm.
little bit every year for all the different things.
Yeah. Well, so student activity fund stays, but your budget cuts off every
Yes.
year.
So you got to
And
spend it or
so,
lose it.
yeah. So,
We're at 18 minutes.
oh, are we too much for your
No,
professor?
well, we have a minute
Or
and
do we
45
need to
seconds.
cover anything else?
Yeah, I think that was it. But I was just saying, yeah, I was just saying we have about a minute left until we got
Okay.
to cut this short.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Budget is not my strength. I abhor it. But I will say with the computerized, how you can transfer funds, it's like that. Before we had on a green paper, if you wanted to do that, you would have to pony it to the business building and they would have to approve it. So it's like 2 or 3 days you'd get your money,
yeah,
which whew, that was tough.
yeah, I bet.
I really like the new system as far as digitally
Yeah,
transferring money and that kind of thing.
yeah.
But
So,
yeah, some principals are very generous, some
or not.
not so much, and you
Yeah,
just kind of have to be like, okay, never mind, we're not gonna go there this year.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I think I'm just want to make sure we're staying on time because I know they like 15 to 20 minutes. So
yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and click stop recording.
Bye.